Hey everybody, welcome back. Psychedelic here. Continuing on with the Acid Archives series, we are going to press on to number 6. And I think eventually, depending on how many I push out, I'm going to start making my own playlist here. I'm going to make a public playlist and I'll put all my videos that I've made so you guys can look back on those, revisit them if you'd like, do them in order. And I really don't know how many I'm going to press out yet in total. I mean, maybe if I had to estimate it, maybe about 15, 20 videos. Hopefully this will be the shortest entry. We'll see how much I quit blathering and just get to the point. But today we're talking about the many moods of New Breed. New Breed is the band. So if you guys caught the live stream last night, I jumped on Dom Seeking a Threads panel for the first time. I think I've joined some different StreamYards in the past, but oftentimes I have trouble communicating or something audio-wise messes up, so I always kind of give up afterwards. But it turned out really good last night. I had a lot of fun. And I brought, the two that I were going to cover next, and I brought this one up on the panel, New Breed. And Permanent Records was actually in the chat. I didn't know till later, but he had mentioned he's going to put at least one track here onto the upcoming Brown Acid compilation. So very cool to catch him there, Lance. But yeah, this is a great record, man. So Private Press, it's on New Breed Records. The year's a little fuzzy on this. I always thought it was 1970. That's what the sources said online, and that's what the Acid Archives says. But Discogs says 72, so to me it kind of sounds more circa 1970 from the style. Definitely sounds like it's coming out of the late 60s with the whole hard rock formation going on. So this is a band based out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And to me, they always kind of came off as a sort of club or a bar band. Just kind of moved around to different venues locally, I would assume. I didn't look up a whole bunch of background info. I can't really find a whole lot. Maybe Lance knows a little more than I do. Considering there's 5 original tracks on here, I'd say there's like 3 or 4 covers, I think. Starting out with Shotgun, which is a pretty common, Blue-Eyed Soul cover. And they do a good job of it. I mean, they do Try Me by James Brown. And then their first original on here, Rock Bustin' Blues, is very much a blues track, but man, it's pretty thick in the fuzz tone, man. When it comes to blues, I just don't like it when it's kind of that slow brooding stuff and it's the same chords and you kind of know where they're going to go. I kind of like a little variety in the blues, and depending on how heavy it is, I always bring it up. Because I know some people really like it, but I think you guys will love this track. It's a great little rhythm to it. And then the closing track is like a ballad, When Something Is Wrong With My Baby. And then once you get to the flip side, stuff starts cooking, definitely. So you got original track called Mississippi Delta. Kind of recalls like a swamp rock, sort of a CCR type of riff, but yet it's got that kind of hard edge to it, kind of dipped in the acid a little bit and throwing out some cool fuzz licks. I think it's like a 6-minute track. It's really good. Then after that, the track that kind of reminds me of like a Brown Acid type of vibe is the track In the Wind. It's kind of a more fast, upbeat fuzz rocker. It's really solid. I might do that one for the sample on this video. We'll see. But the one after that, Don't Jive, is actually the A-side of the single that it released. It's kind of a more of a funky vibe to it. A lot of percussive things going on. Funky drumming on here for sure. I think the drummer is definitely, the rhythm section's where it lands really nice. And then the next track, Unlock Your Mind, it brings things down to a little more mellow space, which is nice. And then the closing track's kind of the stinker on this one. They kind of do the, kind of a bar ragtimey thing with, hand clapping at the end, audience applauds. You know how it goes. Here's the label. I don't know if I showed this already, but I'm going to show it again. So pretty simplistic, you know. I'm not really sure how many copies were pressed. I would imagine something like this, maybe 1,000 copies passed out, copies at their local bar or something. Who knows? But yeah, pretty nice overall though. I don't visit this one a whole lot, but when I do, I always tend to flip it on the side 2. I always forget what the side 1 sounds like, but like I said, there are versions of Shotgun, Try Me, and a couple others. You know, overall, this is pretty solid. Good production quality, nice mixing job, and I love the fuzz tone in this record too. It's got that very kind of nasty, dirty, thick fuzz that we all love. You know, circa 1970, around there. And there are some saxophone leads on like 3 tracks on side 1, which kind of diminishes the quality a little bit, but again, it's done in a pretty tasteful manner. I'll read the back here in case anyone's interested. Enclosed within the covers of this album is some of the freshest and most exciting music I have heard. It's created by 4 guys who individually make up 4 different lifestyles. Augie Dietz, lead guitar, is the manager of a carpet department of a furniture store. Terry Kalaman, bass player, is a home remodeler. Terry Brandy, who switches with Augie from lead to rhythm guitar, is a printer. Jim Mills, the drummer, and the guy who sings most of the lead vocals, is a disc jockey at WHYL in Carlisle under the name Jim Jefferson. Collectively, they formed the new breed, 4 guys who really rip it up, so to speak, at Central Pennsylvania Night Spots. I would imagine Night Spots is a night bar or something. I can't wait to get my hands on my own personal copy of this album because it gives me tremendous pleasure to play songs of people I know, and I for one want to say something. Oh yeah, I remember those guys when they used to play at, and it's got a line there, empty space there, Ben Barber, of the program director at this radio station in Carlisle. So, with that said, let's go into our diary here and see what the Acid Archive says, as Final Richie says. Let's see. So I got the first print here because I keep comparing, seeing how different the entries are. And this one's about exactly the same as the second edition. So it says, this local album offers up a mixture of nifty original numbers and popular soul and pop hits. Opening with a cover of Shotgun. Probably wasn't the most original move in the book, but propelled by frantic drumming and enthusiastic blue-eyed soul vocals, the result may be the best cover of the Motown classic I've heard, which is, I guess, pretty good praise. As good as the group's covers are, their 5 originals are even better. I agree. The only original on the first side, the Molten Rock Bustin' Blues, served to show these guys were rockers at heart. Showcasing a great lead guitar, side 2 started out with another winner in the form of Mississippi Delta, while the other 3 originals on side 2 were just as good. The only disappointment was the closer. I also agree with that, which sounded like it was being performed for an audience of polka fans. All told, a nice obscure find. The band had won a Pepsi Cola contest, and their rendition of the Pepsi jingle was used in an ad campaign. In addition, they were given a recording contract for 1 year. And that is written by SB, who, honestly, I forget who that was. I don't think I have the authors, unless they're in the back here. None of the 3 authors. Must have been some other dude just doing a few entries. But yeah, The Many Moods of New Breed. I think, I don't know if all the tracks are on YouTube. I may have uploaded 1 track or 2 on my Cosmic Minds channel, but I will for sure put some clips in if there are none. So thanks for tuning in again, and I got my next one lined up as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream I did Friday. Wasn't a lot of conversation, it was just kind of more of a, you know, let's spin some records kind of ordeal, but it's cool with me too. It seemed like there was like 3 or 4 different live streams going on, including me. So Friday night was pretty poppin'. I enjoy doing these videos because it's a good way to pump videos out and don't have to worry about spending so much on records when we can kind of dive into our own shells for a while, you know? So very thankful for Dom bringing up this thread, and have been really enjoying the videos lately. So with that said, I think I'm going to sign off. Check out the new breed, and we shall see you soon.